I am driving while I am talking, so it may be a little awkward to hear. Let me see if I can roll my windows up and make a difference, and there we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, let's see. The story. And progress. Try not to get into a car accident. Dude, fucking shit! Anyway. Okay. Alright. So, the story thus far. Trying not to get into a car accident. That's part of the story. Okay. Okay, valedictorian. It's hard to get settled, or actually maybe they settle in pretty easily. You know, because it's like, it's new, they don't know what to expect. And a lot of new people like to compare where they were from to where they are now. And there's not much time for it because nobody wants to hear it. At least not until later. Maybe not at all, because you have to live in the now or you're pretty much screwed. There's very few, when they're so fresh, they can't kind of loosen up. You know, so they have to keep on their toes and assume that nobody gives a rat's ass. A lot of them are at that point where they think that nobody cares about them. And they'd be right. You're pretty much on your own. And if you're not part of a team, you really have nobody watching your back if you're a minion. For the A-hole Academy, it's every man for himself because they're all rich boys and don't give a rat's ass. But if they are trying to cover for each other, or they got an understanding or some leverage over each other, then they would definitely be covering each other. Pretty princess. Oh, they are cutthroat. These are some cutthroat bitches here. They are all for themselves. And it's all about me. Everything they do comes back towards me. They are so selfish and so self-centered. Very few of them think outside themselves. Even the twins, they don't think outside each other. You know, they'll cover for each other. They got each other's backs. They care about each other, and they really care about each other's happiness. So when the sister, I should draw the twins next. When the sister realizes that her brother likes a particular guy, she will swallow her pride and go after him. And she would do the same for her brother if it ever came to that. Or vice versa, you know. He would swallow his pride in order to maintain appearances for his sister. Let's see. I haven't talked a lot about Mu Yu. He's another character. Let's see. I want to say that he comes from a place where they really don't give a shit about your life. You got problems, so does everybody else. I don't want him to be like in an area like a Slumdog Millionaire type of thing. That was just disgusting. I couldn't even watch the movie. After that crap scene, I was done. I turned it off and left. I found something else. I just don't like watching movies about poverty in somebody else's land. That just sucks. I know what it's like to live in a hellhole. And so does Mu. So, let's see. So I guess his name would be... No, Mu Yu. And if he was doing it the other style, it'd be Yu Mu. Anyway, I like Mu's better as his name. He does have a friendly side. He is personable. He smiles. He doesn't let his problems get to him. It's like, why bother? Why let your problems get to you? Life is way too short to be unhappy or horny. And he has no shortage of lovers. So he has a connection with princesses. Maybe through their panties, he could use them as leverage, or through his good looks. He's smart and intelligent, witty, he's quick on his feet, nimble with his fingers. Let's see. He's pretty good at languages. You do have to negotiate with a whole bunch of different type of people. But he speaks. You know what? I think I should give him a skill. Like you pick a linguist skill. You pick up the panties of. He picks up the panties of different girls, and then when he does, if they don't speak common, he'll I don't know, with a few whiffs or something like that, maybe a taste, he'll be able to speak their language fluently. It's like maybe if he finds a French girl or someone who speaks like that Frenchish type language, a romantic language, maybe maybe it may take him a little bit, or even if they're not human. As long as it came from their fluids, he'll have a way of connecting with them. Maybe that's just one of his things, just being a Lothario the way he is. He is sensitive. His male pride sometimes gets wounded. He is definitely not gay. He's anti-gay, if anything. He's really homophobic. And fiercely homophobic. He's not as bad as some of the a-holes, but he is definitely homophobic. So he does prefer the company of women because women have never let him down. Women are always on his side. He has never met a woman that did not like him of any age. And so he does have a way with women. Guys, he's okay, but he's definitely, and he's kind of greedy with the women too. He doesn't share. And then there's some women that he speaks wistfully of. And I think with his cloak, okay, one of the things he picks up the thief's cloak and cowl. And when he wears it, he has connections with a whole nother realm. And there he has creatures, I don't want to say that do his bidding, but they respect him, some of them. The horses can't stand him. They think he's an ass. Every time they see him, ass, they whinny at him, ass. They are shadow horses. So if he needs to get around to different places, he's definitely the guy. If you want to traverse long distances, he can summon the shadow horses, and they acknowledge him to a certain extent, but on the whole, they can't stand him. So every now and then, there'll be a different shadow horse that pops up. The one that he uses as a mount the most is, I want to say like Shadow Mare. Shadow Mare comes up, can hop through shadows. Once out of the cloak, it dwells in the shadows and can take you long distances through shadows. So the best time to travel for Mu is at night. And if it's the height of the day, as long as there's a shadow cast, they can come out of it, they can hide in it. Along with using the cloak for invisibility, he can cover himself like Harry Potter's cloak, or cover anybody who's within it. But it's kind of like how you go into a different. It's like a veil robe. It's not. It's like you're in an astral realm. That cloak is like a doorway for it. So the moment he covers himself, he can still see thinly through the veil that ghosts see through. Like ghosts can see you, but you can't see them. Creatures that are benign or mean you harm, but can't penetrate that veil, or if they have to be like super strong in order and focus their strength to move objects and things like that. Mu has that ability to go ghost. He also can pull things and steal things from shadows. So if your back is turned, or your wallet or coin purse is turned to the shadows, he can send his hand through his cloak and then pull from that shadow and then drag it all the way to himself. Let's see, Sheila could disappear, but it didn't have much else going on for her. And she never pulled anything out of this shadow realm. And I think that's going to be unique only to these people. Possibly because it considers them evil. And there's a reason for that. And the reason won't appear until after the senior year. I think I'll reveal it then. But even though the kids don't, or the students that are pulled from juvenile hall don't consider themselves completely evil, they feel like they're more survivors than evil people. So they have this very strong survival instinct. Sometimes it may extend beyond themselves. Maybe sometimes it doesn't. And let's see. Mu definitely is out to save a female. He loves his females. But none of them have ever turned on him. Not for long. They all have his back in some sort of way. Even when he steals their panties, even then he's forgiven after a while, especially if he returns them, which is rare. It's almost like an honor among them. And I want to say that in exchange, he may give them a certain something. Kind of like how a crow would steal something shiny and maybe leave an acorn in its place or something like that. I can't remember which animal does that or may do that. But that's kind of his thing. He'll steal your panties and then leave something for you. Maybe a jewel, maybe something from the shadow realm that could be useful to you. Maybe a unique comb or something that of your heart's desire. But whatever the item is, he rarely ever has hard feelings after the panties are stolen. And once he steals them once, he doesn't always steal them. Maybe it's just a one-time thing. He just seems to snag them. It's not like he steals them on purpose either. It's as natural as breathing. It's just that the next thing you know, he has nothing in his hands. He passes by a female and he's got panties. And God help him if he's in a room full of females. They don't feel it coming off of them. They just feel that they're not wearing any panties anymore. Maybe it's a little breeze, a little bit more of a breeze. And it's something that he cannot control. He's a panty kleptomaniac. It does get him into trouble, especially if the girls have boyfriends. And but some of them are sworn to secrecy. He'll come back to them and he'll give them something. Maybe he can't give them back their panties. Maybe I'll figure it out so that he can't give them back their undies. Oh my gosh, it's packed here. Okay, well that's it for now. Thank you for watching and listening and enduring this terrible, my bad language. I am so sorry. But maybe I'll edit it out. I don't know. I was upset that guy just was not going to slow down and let me in. But that's okay. That's all right. I'm only going 60 miles an hour. And stop whining. Okay, anyway. Please like or subscribe if you like what you see. And again, thank you for watching. And can't wait to see you in part 19. Bye-bye. Day 19, rather. Bye-bye.